Okay, you guys, so I just finished recording my introduction in Photo Booth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take a screenshot by pressing Shift Command 4 of this little panel up here in iMovie, and I'll show you why in a second. So I have that screencast. Now remember, I want you to go over and I want you to create a new keynote different than the one you did previously. Okay, and I am going to say new, and I'm going to use wide. And so here's the presentation. I'm going to click choose. And then I'm going to take my zoom down to fit slide. Actually, I like to see it, so I'm going to say 75%. And then I'm just going to delete everything in here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that screenshot I took from iMovie. Let me close this. Sorry. I'm going to grab that screenshot, which is right here, that I took from iMovie, and I'm going to put this in here, and you'll understand why in just a second. Okay, and I'm going to pull this out and make it as wide as my slide. Okay, so now your instructions are to create a lime green background and then enter your name. So what I'm going to do is, because I know this is what's going to fill my screen in iMovie, I'm going to go to text, and I just dropped this text box in here, and I'm just going to type my name. Now I took my movie strategically. Notice how I left like 2/3 of the side. Okay, and then I'm going to choose a font that I really like. Well, I'm just going to go with this one for the sake of time. And then I'm going to increase this to about 300, so it's really big. So then what you'll see is I have my name over, so well, just watch. So now I have my name over my picture, my screenshot, okay? So, but what I really like to do is, this doesn't necessarily stand out. Like my N looks like it's cut off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a shape here, and I'm just going to put it over, like I actually like to go to the edge. You don't have to, but I'm just going to add this shape here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this shape. Now remember, if you don't see any of these tools, you just click on this little triangle, that'll open your drawer. I'm going to change this to like a gray. Okay, so this silver. Okay, and then do you see this opacity here? I'm just going to turn it down so it's a little bit see-through. Okay, so now you can see my name, but I'm going to take it one step further, and I'm actually going to send this behind my first name. So I'm going to go up to and click on arrange, and then I'm going to say backwards. If I said back, it would take it all the way behind my picture. So this is what it's going to look like in iMovie. So I'm done with this. I'm done with my screenshot, so I'm just going to delete it. But I need to create my background so that it's lime green. So I'm going to go right here. See how it says background? I'm going to open this drawer. I'm going to click on this color wheel, and I'm going to choose this lime green, and so now I have this background. But the other thing I want to do is I want to create this as an animation. So I'm going to click on my name, then I'm going to hold the shift key down and click on the shape, and I'm going to go up to arrange, and I'm going to click on group. So now these two things are together, so if I move them, you see, like they'll go together, but I want it over here. And then I'm going to go up to animate. I'm going to use build in, I'm going to add an effect, and I am going to choose drift and scale, and it's going to come up and it's going to scale out, okay? And it's 3 seconds, and funny because I believe that my clip is 3 seconds. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, make sure I'm in Keynote, I'm going to go play, I'm going to record slideshow, okay, and then I'm going to hit the record key. Counting me down, and I'm just going to press the button, and we're done. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to press the escape key, and I'm going to go up to File, Export to QuickTime. Okay, and I'm going to change the format to 1080 and click Next, and I'm just going to call this my first name. I like putting everything in my downloads, as you know, so I'm going to put it in my downloads. Okay, now I'm going to minimize this screen. There's your lesson that I'm still working on. And I'm going to open my iMovie. Okay, so here's my intro. I'm going to click on my little Finder Man to bring up my downloads. Okay, and I'm going to grab that green screen I just made, and I'm going to put it on top of my video. Now, if this isn't going to work unless you already have something in there. Okay, so these aren't lined up so great, but let's just see when I press my space bar. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to detach this audio. So I'm going to control click on here, detach audio from the green screen one, and I'm going to delete it because I want this audio. Now, in order to make it so I can see my face down here, I'm going to go up, and it has to be selected, guys. So if I click down here, it's not going to work. But this top one, I have to select it, and do you see how there's these like 2 squares up here? I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to change this to green blue screen. Okay, so now what should happen is, oh, there it is. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim this down. So I'm going to drop this, and I'm just going to click in here, and I'm going to press Command B, and it's trimmed down. So now it's lined up. So that's all you have to do. Remember, if you get lost, go back and re-watch the section of the video. I'm sorry this is so long. I'm usually good about cutting it short, but not today. All right, thanks guys.